your proud parent moment when you get to watch these guys all grown up and moving on to the next step?
Well, yeah, you know, every year it's a little bit different. Every year gets, I think, a little bit better because your recruiting gets better. And this is, you know, a bunch of kids that have been here from day one with me, so you know, it's always fun to, you know, see how they do and how they measure up. And well, they did a good job today, everybody.
Did you get a good grasp of how many teams are here today?
I think there's 22 teams, I was told. 22 teams. 23 teams, I just heard.
How does that stack up in years past?
Well, I think, you know, when Al and Emmanuel were here, we probably had about the same. But, you know, every year I think it gets, you know, guys get up. Got some interesting guys that everybody want to see. They want to see Taylor Thompson, you know, run routes and catch the ball. And things that he hadn't done, you know, but played defensive end for us. So that kind of brings a lot of people here too.
He looked completely different from the end of the season.
Yeah.
Have you been like?
Well, the bowl game he lost. He went down. He played about the way he's playing right now, and so you know, he and I had talked back at the end of November about playing tight end and catching some balls and make sure that he worked out that I had told a bunch of guys that I thought that, you know, having been an all-state tight end in high school, he's kind of a freak of nature that way for tight ends. And you know, there's a lot of defensive ends that are the same size and speed as him, but tight ends are a little bit different. And so he worked real hard. He did real well in the Arkansas All-Star game, I know, and then he's had a great day today. The opportunities to play longer, I think, for him will be at tight end, and I think he obviously came to that too. He's not stupid.
Are you referring to Gronkowski?
Yeah.
Is he hurt at all by the fact that all the video of him for the last 4 years is playing defense, or will the scouts see his athletic ability enough to?
You know, they give him a grade as a defensive player, and they'll give him a grade as a tight end.
You mentioned guys like Emmanuel Sanders and Aldrick Robinson, and you've got a few more out there, Thomas Morstead and Brian McCann. How much has their success helped in terms of getting more scouts and more teams to come pay attention at SMU?
I think the fact that we're putting guys into the pros helps a lot, and you know, I think having the last one also triggers. There's not competition. There's, you know, half these guys would be down the road if we were having it the same day as Texas had it or same day as TCU. So you know, because we're the last one, because we have a unique spot, and we have some guys that are going to get drafted, that, you know, it creates a lot of interest for teams to make sure they come and do their homework.
Who's made the biggest change in your eyes in terms of just their physical makeup, their conditioning?
I think Josh Laribas, probably. You know, he left 2 years ago when he didn't play at 380 pounds, and he doesn't even look like the same guy. I would anticipate, you know, talking to Gil Brandt today, I mean, he thinks he'll be the best guard, the guard that ends up being a player in the league, the fastest at this draft, which says a lot, you know, and thinks that he'll get drafted somewhere in the third or fourth round. So.
Do you see any of your guys as sleepers who might not get drafted, but if they get in the right camp, have a legit chance to make a team?
I think Bradley Haynes and Richard Crawford are kind of that way. I think Richards has a chance to get drafted late or get in a camp as a free agent. B's the same way. I think they, you know, just if they go to the right team, they have the ability to make it in the league, and you know, hopefully they'll get with the right coach and knows how to look at him and how to evaluate the talent.
What are some of the people saying about Beasley? Just, you know, his size. I know you.
Well, he's you know, the guys that have had success in the league like him. They're comparing him to those players, and you know, Bees will compete when he gets in there. I think as long as everybody understands that he's a special slot, play on third down, play on second and long, fourth down, and the inside receiver. I mean, he'll be as good as any of those guys there.
Just purely the fact that with your history in the NFL and knowing so many people, what do you tell the guys before a day like this and while they're preparing for it?
Well, I told them that, you know, to relax, and you know, you're only going to do this one time. So it doesn't matter, you know, what you run out here. The film is going to get you to a camp, and you know, whether, you know, it certainly can help you, but it's not going to hurt you. You know, like Bees ran what I thought he was going to run. You know, low 4.5s. He plays 4.4, 4.3 in 20-yard area, and that's what he'll do when he gets to one of their places.
When you think about what these guys looked like when you got a hold of them 4 years ago, you got a handful of guys who are considered legit draft prospects and a couple more who, like you said, may get in on a free agent tryout. Who's come the farthest, or who's the biggest surprise to you to be where he is?
Well, Kelvin Beachum, I think, is interesting because he started the whole year at about 230 pounds as a tackle for us that fresh first year. And now he's, 300, I think he weighed 309 and 310 today. So, he's I think, a make-it guy. He won't get drafted at probably as high as Josh, but I think when he gets to camp, they'll either keep him on the practice squad and he'll get stronger, and he'll be a guy that I think can play 10 to 15 years if he doesn't get hurt, which he has a way about him of not getting hurt. Some guys have it, some guys don't.